welcome back to the channel. On this episode, it's going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge, if you will, of a mashup it's more like a salad of doing brakes, if you will. I've had this car for about going on 3 weeks now, and it's been fighting me with everything. It has jammer brakes in it. We did rear wheel cylinders out of a 74 or something like that, Super Beetle. I don't know what the hell I picked. Could have been 76. They're all the same. It's 43 millimeter wheel cylinders, what I'm getting at. So to get the jammer brakes working. With that said, I have to replace the master cylinder. I think that's where this episode is going to start. And I'll walk you through other stuff that we did, because this has just been a nightmare, because I love brakes so much. So far, new wheel cylinders have been put into it, or I put new wheel cylinders in it. I got time-lapse of all this shit, lack of better terms. Might just do a catch you up on what got done thing, rather than me just rambling right now, which is what I'm doing. But anyway, what I've done so far, rear wheel cylinders out of a Super Beetle, so 23 millimeters to get the jammer brakes working, because the jammer brakes are 3/4 inch bore. You need a bigger bore because they don't make a 5/8 anymore, yada, yada, yada. And new front to rear line with a residual pressure valve or thing in it, 10 pounder. Right now I'm going to put a disc master cylinder in it to get the rear brakes working off the surface brake, because the original bore doesn't have enough to fill without 2 pumps on the rear brakes. Long story, we're making something work that shouldn't work, or that wasn't intended to. So things gonna have steering brakes off of the drums, off of a disc, or what would be considered disc brake jammers, just to get brakes. All this for brakes, literally, just to get steering brakes working, because they don't make a 5/8 board double handle anymore. They make it forward and backwards, or you can find them, but you can't find a tool. I am rambling. Anyway, let me get set up here, get this thing, this is a good height for it, rip out this master, and chime in with more stuff, because we gotta bleed them again. Anyway, it's a cool car. All right, kind of anticlimactic. Not that, exciting. Old master is out. Got to swap the brake switch and this rear plug, which would be another circuit, but this car doesn't have one. Plugs for another circuit. Anywho, it doesn't need it. It runs off the front brake circuit. So I got to swap those 2 plugs out. Just painted the master. Because I forgot to. Once that's dry, I'll cut back in with it. It is a much dip. You'll see why we're upgrading. All right, the master's dry enough. Comparison, it's still drainy. Old one, stay. New one, she's bigger. Bigger bores. So hopefully that'll give us all the brakes working as they should. Kind of cheating the system, or at least in my head, that's what we're trying to do. So I'm going to transfer the that block port, or the block off port plug, the thing that's blocking the. Anyway, I'm going to transfer things and then put them back in, I guess, and hopefully everything's going to work well. So. Stay tuned for another update. All right, currently editing this video right now, and it is a freaking mess, to say the most, the least, what have you. I have no good segues, cuttings, this, that, and the other thing, so I'm going to do this as instead of, really, really bad commentated overlays of what I did. I think right now what I'm going to be doing is just going to run the time lapse of maybe cut in with some words, because I do have some words. Like I said, just bad segues. One thing I'm going to do is just run time lapse of putting in the rear wheel cylinders. Hopefully that should be a treat and delight, and relatively painless. But you'll see what what I had going on, or what was going on, and how this car's been fighting me so much. Hello. Got nothing important really to say. I mean, as usual. But just want to say, someone around here has their grill fired up. And it smells quite tasty, not gonna lie. But let me get back to this. Okie dokes. Brakes, rears at least, bled, zero air. Jammers are actually working. Did realize why probably people don't do this is because the piston in the old actual master isn't the biggest. So tool pumps, you get rear brakes, but the jammers work immediately. So I mean, you can do the 1-2, you can have fun with the arms and the levers, is I guess what I'm saying. So now I gotta address the fronts, see what the hell's going on with them, get them to actually stop straight instead of doing the to the side. So I'll be back to you when I get up there. Hello again. Anyway, first thing I'm actually gonna try to do is adjust these front brakes out and bleed them. See if it'll come around. Who knows? Maybe there might be air in the system. I can only hope. It's probably not, but we can hope. weather update for you. Last night didn't go, the bestest, we'll say. Still have air, still have pull on that side. So I'm just got a new soft line. Bleed's fine. I don't know. Maybe it's internally collapsing. Who knows? Gonna replace the soft line on this side of the wheel, and hopefully we can get the full flow and get the front brakes to work properly. Also, feels like there's still air in the back. I can't find it. We're gonna try to sort that one out too. But well, at least get front brakes on this thing working right. At least it's a dual circuit. The rears do come around after like 2 pumps, but gonna concentrate on the fronts right now. Baby steps, guys. Baby steps. The big problem, not even a problem, the pain in the butt part of a lot of this stuff is working on, custom stuff when you didn't build it, and trying to, go through what the previous owner had done, or the previous owner of that, or the person who originally built it. It's fun. You end up losing your butt on a lot of these, jobs when you bid them. All right, lines in went surprisingly well. Already started gravity bleeding. The old line, like I said, doesn't look bad, although it was made in 1988. I don't know if you'd be able to see it. 11 of 88. I mean, I could blow through it. I don't know if you could hear that. So I don't know if this was the issue, but you know what? Replace it anyway. So I don't know if it's internally collapsing here or if it's in a... What I'm getting at is I don't know. We replaced it because, at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to throw parts at it. Taking off this wheel every time you gotta, I don't know, get to the master, fill the master, do anything with the master. Well, not so much the master, the reservoir for the master. Really inconvenient. Let me show you kind of what I've been screwing with, because again, I don't know where this episode's going. We might have brakes now, we might not, who knows. But anywho, what I had to do with this car was it has a set of steering brakes, cutter brakes in it. So to get them working, they don't make 5/8 bore anymore to work with the original rear wheel cylinders. So we shoved what the hell, Super Beetle rear wheel cylinders, well, fronts. We put fronts from a Super in the rear of this thing. It's a bigger bore. Works with a 3/4. I think I've said this all before. Again, it's long. We might have brakes now, who knows. But did that to get the jammers working. The jammers work, or cutter, steering, whatever. Also under here, we have, everything's just no good way to get you guys in here. New master cylinder, which is a disc master to work the bigger rears. There's a residual pressure valve, that pink thing down there. Residual pressure, 10 pounder to hopefully keep stuff in. I'm hoping we have brakes now, but this master cylinder, that master cylinder is very, very inconvenient to do anything under there. Come on, camera. I'm at. Verdict. The brakes seem to work, seem to bleed, seem good. Front still has a little bit of a pull. I think at this point, so everything is new in this front end except for the drums themselves. I think this drum is out around on this side, so whenever it finds whatever spot, it won't let it, roll and just locks. I'm also testing this on concrete. Regardless, it'd have a pull, but might not be as noticeable on, something, asphalt. So I'm going to recommend a drum on this. At least it's not going to put you, into oncoming traffic now, or it doesn't feel like it. The brakes feel good. The jammers work. Gonna let it sit, if you will, marinate for, I don't know, hour or two. Just let it, like I said, I got to do the alternator. So while I do that, basically I'm going to give the system time to relax and, hopefully keep a pedal and not lose a pedal again. Because what was happening with whatever air bubble or whatever was in the system, and I think it was in the master, I'm not going to guarantee it because they're better than they've been, but, whatever. So we're going to let it sit and see what happens. But other than that, the brakes were there instantly after even bleeding them. I didn't do a pump on the pedal. So that's good. I'm hoping these brakes are solved. Everything right now is working as intended, except for the pull on this side, which, like I said, it's a recommendation on a drum. Unless I can get someone to cut it, I don't know how much life is left in there, or how out around it is, if it is. But with that said, we're going to wrap up this episode on brakes. It is probably just a mess. I'm not going to lie. This car, has been challenging me, has been testing my very, very virtuous patience, which I have none of those either, but sounds good. But anyway, if you kind of like this episode or just want to, hear me ramble and lose my mind and see it on a, hopefully weekly basis, like, subscribe, share, do what you want, give me a comment, we'll chat. With that said, thanks for watching, see you on the next one, maybe, possibly, hopefully.